today, it's all about massive flavor, easy effort. So how do we do that and what are we doing? Today, slow roasted pork. Put it on our Weber, roast it for about 2 hours, smoke it, get as much flavor as we can. Then we're going to crank that bad boy up, start caramelizing it with some barbecue sauce, set it over the side, let it rest, and we're going to slice that bad boy super thin. We're going to make a homemade slaw, and we're going to have one of those sandwiches about that big. I'm going to unlock my jaws to see if I can get around it because I have been craving this sandwich. Stay tuned. All right, so the first things first. If you guys haven't seen the video, I've shown you 1,000 times. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We've already got our Weber set up, and we've set up like a smoker. What does that mean? We just got our coals on one side. We've got it low and slow. We're at some apple chips today, some apple chunks, I should say. And the whole point of this, I just feel like apple goes with pork, so why not? Ooh, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, this pork has been on sale at the grocery store for a week now. And the first time I saw it, I already knew what I was doing. There's no doubt about it. Anytime I can make something where the kids love it, the wife loves it, and I love it, you know it's going to be a good one. So what are we doing? Let's get started, shall we? What do you think? Mm-hmm. On your mark, get set, go. It's not done.
How big? How big is...
Done. It's not done. Okay, it's got to be a little bit harder than easy, right? All right.
How big? How big is that?
How big is that piece of meat?
How big is that piece of meat?
That's what she said.
Depends on who you ask.
What did we say, 4 pounds?
I think 4.5.
4.5 pounds?
4.5 pound pork
Basically,
loin.
this is a half a loin. But I did want you guys to see, this is why I've got it down and haven't done anything to it. You guys see how much fat is running through there? This is the rib side. So the point is the loin sticks out a little bit further. If you can find a pork loin that's got a lot of marbled fat in it, it's going to help you guys go a long way. Traditionally, if you look right here, pork itself is lean. But with all this extra fat running through it, it's just going to help it a long ways. All right. Here we go. All right. We're going to add a little mustard. Why? Because it acts like a binder. So we're just going to rub this around really good. Now you guys know from my rib video, if you guys haven't seen that, I think it's one of the best ones out there. You guys can check that link above. But basically the rib video shows that I do not make my own barbecue seasoning. It's not the fact that I don't like to. I just like to experiment. And there's not really one barbecue seasoning that's just an automatically like the go-to. So what I do, I find some that I really, really like because one might have a little bit more pepper, one might have a little bit more sweet, and one might have a little bit more smoke. So I'm a 3-person barbecue seasoning kind of guy, you know. But all I do is take them, put them in a big bowl, combine them, and then add them back to the containers. And that's how I come up with my barbecue seasoning. So that's what we got here. So we're just going to do a good sprinkling. Remember, this is a big chunk of meat. And it's not like a slab of ribs. You know, you got to penetrate, that meat's got to, that seasoning's got to penetrate. So we did bottom side down first because it's going to be our presentation side. Although it probably really won't matter.
It's going on a sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Slice thin. God, I'm going to tell you what, my mouth is absolutely... I don't even know if I can... Well...
The watering?
All right, guys, so when I was shooting the intro, I lost track of time. I wasn't paying attention, and my vent was open all the way. What does that do? My grill got too hot. So right now, we're just trying to settle it down. I got my vent closed. We're pushing about 275. That's a little bit high for me. I want to stick around 250. The reason why I want to go on the low side today is because I want it to be on the grill as long as possible with as much smoke as possible. So the less your vents are open, the more smoke that can rotate inside. Because the pork is so lean, it's not going to cook. It's not going to take long to cook. So what we want to do is just slow it down as much as we can, retain as much moisture as we can. So when we make one of those sandwiches about that big, you know it's going to be good.
How big? How big's that sandwich going to be?
Big meat sandwich. All right. So you guys heard me talking about my thermometer. I could not live without it. It's a two system thermometer. We've got it set right here. And then I'm gonna show you guys a little trick on the trade on the meat thing. So obviously the thing that you want to do the most is get your thermometer in the middle of your meat, okay? So one way to do it, I guess per se, is just imagine your meat being right in the middle. So whether you want to go from here or here, that's up to you guys. And just imagine your fingers coming to the edge. So that way you can't overshoot it, okay? So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come in from the side, right in the middle. I'm gonna imagine my fingers about right there. And we're gonna try to go right in the middle like a skewer.
You look like you're putting an IV in someone's arm or something.
It feels like an IV in somebody's arm. All right. Look at that bad boy. Off the heat. Make sure my thermometer. There we go. All right. We're just gonna close this down. All right, guys. So while we got our pork loin on the grill, I thought I'd make a good slaw. This is what really, really makes the sandwich. Now, this is not my typical slaw. I typically make my world's famous Charcoal King slaw, but this is not it. And why? Because I'm trying to match flavor with flavor. Let me explain. When we do this pork, it's going to have already the barbecue seasoning on it, which is going to have 3 components: black pepper, a little bit of smoke, and a little bit of sweet. The slaw I make, or the sauce that we're going to pour over top, is going to be a mustard barbecue sauce. And that is really, really sweet. So with this slaw, I'm going to offset it with more acid, so it's going to have a little tang to it. It's going to hit you like right in there. But combined, that's what we're looking for. So that's what kind of slaw we'll make today.
Just like a wine pairing, huh? We're pairing our slaw with our pork.
Hey, let me tell you something. I have thought about this sandwich for a good 7. Let me ask the audience out there. When you're walking into the grocery store, like, does your mouth just automatically, you look at something, you're like, damn. Oh yeah. And your mind just starts going crazy different ways. And you're just like, man, I can't wait to cook that. If it is, comment below. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I've been thinking about all week. How am I going to do it? How am I going to smoke it? What am I going to put on it? What is it going to look like? And ultimately, I could care less. That bad boy is going to be shoveled in my mouth when I'm done. So it might be an ugly sight to see, but we are going to get to the last bite. Can we get please started on the coleslaw?
Yes, get started.
Right. This is what I did. I cheated. Just a standard bag of mixed coleslaw, okay? Typically, I would have some, what do you call it? Some cabbage, and I would shred up myself. But we're just going to, since we're not going to do a lot of it, because it's just going on top of the sandwich, I don't know, what do you think? A couple handfuls?
Is a handful a cup, do you think?
Probably. What is that? I don't know. However much that is. Let's see.
You think 2 cups?
I don't know. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. That's how it's going to be today. That's how mostly we cook. I know one thing. The girls don't like it. So if the girls don't like it, that means Daddy can add whatever he wants to it. All right. It's already got some carrot. I picked some green onion from the garden. We're going to try to do a little fancy over here. We're going to cut these bad boys a little long. Give it some texture. It's kind of hard to talk and speak at the same time. It's kind of hard to talk
and speak. Kind of hard to cut.
Yeah, it's kind of hard
to.
Yeah. It still got me flustered. All right. Here's a cool little trick. So I like apples in my slaw. I also think apples go great with pork, so why not? We're not going to use a lot, but we are going to cut it as thinly as possible. So we're going to do it 2 ways. First, as thin as you can cut it. If you can't cut it that thin, it's not a big deal. I'm trying to talk and cut at the same time, but that is a little difficult, especially when you're talking about razor thin. All right. We're just going to group them together. No big deal. Nobody's going to be inspecting your cuts. And we're just going to do it once again, super thin, like a julienne, like a rough.
That's the word I was thinking about. I was about to ask you, what is that cut called?
Shoestring julienne. It gets you to the ballpark. Let's put it that way. All right, so we got some apple going in. What else we got here? I'm going to add some Splenda. You guys can add some sugar if you want to, but I'm on a diet. because when my sandwich is that big, I've got to find a way to cut calories. So the only way I can cut calories instead of mayonnaise, and I got fruit and I'm eating vegetable. And I'm going to have a pile of meat about that big. So I was like, how can I substitute sugar? Because let's face it, a body like this doesn't need everything. It just needs a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 packs. I kind of have an idea. Like I said, I don't want it too sweet. I know what you guys are thinking. Oh my God, that's a lot already. It'll be fine. It will be fine. You guys make your own. But this is what we're doing today. A little celery seed. A little goes a long way. I don't want it to overpower it. Let's see, some fresh salt, because stale salt would be no good.
But
yeah, some stale cracked pepper. You guys know when you go to Olive Garden, they're like, how much cheese do you want? And that lady or the guy keeps going like this, like, I might just do the whole block. Like, say when. Say when. That gets me every time. All right, here we go.
Jeez.
All right. Now I don't want to overdress mine. This is where it's going to. This is probably your 2 most important ingredients right here. I don't want mine super mayonnaise-y, as I throw in some good heaping.
Yeah, as you throw in a whole lot of mayonnaise.
But that's really not. That's probably, honestly, close to a 1/4 cup right there. If I had to guess, I'd guess a 1/4 cup. And we're going to guess about a 1/4 cup of vinegar. And the only way you can taste slaw or make slaw is to taste it. And as you guys know, when you make slaw, it's going to break down. So that's why we're doing it early. So I would have done it earlier than this, but I can't produce and act and edit and all that stuff at the same time. The microwave clean's got to help out a little bit. So
the birds are really noisy today.
Probably because there's a bunch of worms out.
That's true. It is a rainy day.
Like, hey, cuz. See? Hey, cuz. All right, we're just going to mix this up really good. Taste it. Let's see what happens. With my fork.
Get you right there.
Right there in the jugular, you know what I mean? That's, God almighty. I might have nailed this on the first try. It don't need nothing. You can taste the apple. That vinegar is going to hit you. But that's what I want, because it's got to offset the sweetness. See, if you like sweet and you're going to add that barbecue sauce, if your barbecue sauce is not sweet and you want to offset it, obviously you can make this more sweet. But I'm telling you, the combination, it's all about balance. So this is, I'm telling you, I nailed it on the first try. Almost like I knew what I was doing. All right, we're gonna let this rest. All right, guys, so we're about the 2-hour mark, give or take. I just wanted to show you guys a quick look. And this process is basically on the downhill slide. All right, so our internal temperature is about 133. Our target temperature is going to be about 145 to 148. This is definitely a pork that I wouldn't necessarily want medium rare. I want it right on the side about medium, especially maybe medium well on the sandwiches. But this is what we're going to do. You guys can see I've got my lid open. I've already opened my damper on the bottom, which allows a lot of oxygen. And so what you're going to see right here is a hot bed of coals. Okay, and that's what we want, because what we're going to do is we're going to take our mustard barbecue sauce and we're going to start glazing and flipping, and we're going to keep doing that the whole time until we reach our target temp. Okay, so those coals are getting right up there with temperature. You guys will hear a dramatic difference. Oh yeah. Camera probably didn't pick it up, but we're just going to keep glazing it. And this is what I really want to do. I should have showed you this before, but it's like ribs. Right before you wrap your ribs, you want to make sure that your crust is dry. That means the bark's set. If you can scrape it with your fingernail and it doesn't come off, that means your crust is set. So that's what we're going to concentrate on right here. Is basically what we're going to do is keep basting and basting and basting and basting. And I want this barbecue sauce to caramelize and build layers upon layers upon layers. Because remember, it's a thick piece of meat. So we're going to have to help it out a little bit. And so what we're going to do...
What kind of barbecue sauce are you using?
We're using Sweet Baby Ray's Golden Sweet Mustard.
So it's kind of like a Carolina style. That's why
Yes.
it looks so yellow.
Yes. I just thought it'd be a great...
We're switching it up a little.
Yeah, I just thought it'd be a great addition, especially on a sandwich. You guys know by my barbecue ribeyes that I love my KC Masterpiece. But this is a really good one. Matter of fact, it's good enough to where we said, man, I wonder if this would be good on steaks. But
might have to try that.
might have to try.
I think we're a little overdue for a ribeye anyway.
That's true. All right, guys. So this is basically what we're going to do for the next, I don't know, 10 degrees. We're going to keep our lid open. We're going to keep our grill hot. And all we're going to do is keep flipping. And then the whole point of this is to get this as caramelized as possible while building layers of flavor. Then we're going to get it off the grill, let it rest. That way all those juices and stuff get back intact. And then we're going to slice it super thin. I think I just gleeked. I think the moisture in my mouth is just like my jaws are like a swollen chipmunk. Like they're just waiting just to...
Here, show me that barbecue sauce. Let's see if... What?
You know, Sweet Baby Ray's.
How you gonna do this, babe?
Now listen. You've waited for 2.5 hours for this pork to be just at the perfect temperature. Do not cut off an extra 20 minutes and not let this meat rest. You will regret it. Remember, we cut that fat off, so there's not a lot of fat to help it stay moist. So the most important thing is to cook it the right way to keep it as moist as possible. To do that, resting is just as important as cooking. Resting is just as important as cooking.
I mean, that's what I try to tell you every Friday afternoon when I want to take a nap.
I think Friday becomes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
No.
Just like the diet starts on Monday. Every Monday we start a new diet. And by every Tuesday, God,
we're on a diet for 1 day a week.
That's true. Monday.
That's pretty good.
All right. I'm going to let this rest. In about 20 minutes, we're going to be back with you guys. We're going to slice it, show you what it looks like. We're going to build this sandwich. And I am ready. I'm ready. All right, guys. So I don't know about you, but the last 2 hours seemed like they went by like this. The last 20 minutes seemed like I'm literally watching the seconds go by. So with the residual heat from the grill, all I did was throw some big buns down, get them nice and toasty. I think it'll hold up to the juice of the pork a lot more. You know you got something good when you're worried about how much juice goes into the bun. So let's just see here. We're gonna cut it right in the middle, get nice big thin slices. Thin as we can go. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah. God, you could just look at that. You see that? Watch this. Boop, boop, burpees. All right. So I think it's really impressive, or it's really important. I should say impressive has nothing to do with it. To slice it thin. So slice as thin as you can. If you got a slicer, you can definitely put it on there. If you don't feel comfortable with it, just go as thin as you can possibly go. To me, I love a shaved. So here we go. Follow along here, guys.
Move this piece so I can see.
You want to move that piece? Golly, that thing is juicy. Told you I like it thin. Oh, yeah. This is like, God,
Boy, that looks moist.
And I'm going to tell you what, with that charred crust on the outside and that smoke flavor, you guys can see a very small pink ring around it. It wasn't on there long, but long enough to pick up that smoke. We just drowned it in our seasoning, because remember, there's not a lot of flavor inside the meat. We didn't inject it or anything. And I'm going to keep going. That's probably a good portion for the girls. But not for me. Not for me. This fly to the right of me is about to be... I'm going to karate chop it. I am going to absolutely Danielson it right in the neck. Danielson. Catch fly with chopstick. You master.
Honey, you can't make me laugh because then the camera shakes.
Hey, like I said, I like a lot of meat. I think my jaws are shaking. God almighty. All right. That's probably good
now
for
is when you need to pull out your electric knife.
Now you could do that, but look at that. I mean, just...
Oh, give me a piece. Give me a piece. Oh.
God almighty.
Oh, that's good.
All right, here we go. Let's build the epic sandwich. You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Is that gonna be enough meat?
For one, damn. I'm gonna baste the bottom. I warm my barbecue sauce up because I like a little warm barbecue sauce. Let me tell you something. If you've ever touched a cast iron skillet off the grill and forgot to use a hot pad, you'll never do it again. That ain't one of those things where you fool me once, fool me twice, shame on you, all that stuff. I recommend these little bad boys right here, little silicone things are about $5 on Amazon. Enough of that. Let's build it. All right. Let's do a bed of onion. I love thinly sliced onion.
Oh, babe, that looks good.
Oh yeah. I mean, look how look at all this moisture. I wish I'd let it rest a hair longer. I hate to say it, but it just goes to show you how long you can actually let it rest. All right. Base a little bit more this sweetness on there. Come back in here with a little bit of this slaw. Forgot about the slaw. Can't forget about the slaw. God. And then I got some of these sweet heat banana peppers. I just thought it'd be a great addition. I'm just gonna layer them bad boys. That just sounds good to me. And there we go.
This is gonna be a messy
Yeah.
bite.
I told you I'm gonna have to dislocate my jaws when I get done with this bad boy.
Boy, that looks good.
All right, guys, without further ado, my anticipation level is through the roof. So I don't know if you guys want me to cut it in half so you guys can see it or not, but I'm going to anyways. I think only because it helps my mouth get around it because it's so big.
Oh man, babe. Boy, can we just appreciate?
Just watch.
Can we just appreciate you for a minute?
Well, I mean, I can pat myself on the back, but I got other things to do. Look at all that.
Golly.
You can't tell me. Here we go.
That, honey, you outdid yourself. Let's see that big bite, Big Daddy.
Damn. And I've thought about this for a week. Man, this is so damn good. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to press that subscribe button, pound that notification button. Make this, comment below, and tell me what you think, because I'm telling you.
That does look good.
Ah.